What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JBsports back again with another one. Former Dallas Cowboy wide receiver Dez Bryant to work out for the Baltimore Ravens as he attempts to revive his NFL career and latch on with one of the favorites for the Super Bowl and play alongside MVP Lamar Jackson. Now, a couple of years ago, I say around, like this is around 2 to 3 years ago, Dez Bryant had got a contract offer to play for the Baltimore Ravens. He turned it down because he wanted to stay in the division. And he was attempting to join his friend ODB, Odell Beckham Jr., in New York and play for the Giants. The Giants were not interested, never offered Dez Bryant a contract. And then soon after, he got a deal done with the New Orleans Saints. Got hurt before he was able to get on the field for the Saints with a devastating leg injury. Been out of football and hasn't caught a pass since December 31st, 2017. So it will be 3 years this December 31st, since he's played in the NFL. Now, it's going to be very interesting, man. I thought he made a bad decision, bad business move, not signing with the Baltimore Ravens in 2017. He could have signed with them. Now, the quarterback at the time was Joe Flacco, a.k.a. Joe Fluco. Had that one great year with the Baltimore Ravens, led them to the Super Bowl, was a Super Bowl MVP, and rode that momentum all the way to the bank where he signed a $100 million contract that made him the highest paid player in the NFL, which was after 9, after 10, after 11, and after 12. It was ridiculous. But he struck while the iron hot, had a great timing. And that's the quarterback market as we stand today. You know, it's not who's the greatest, it's who's the latest. And he was the latest, and that's why he got the highest paid contract that I'm talking about in Joe Fluco. But let's get back to the matter at hand, Dez Bryant. Now, Dezzy, he's one of those guys you always see on Twitter giving his thoughts on various topics and various issues, and he's a guy that's very vocal on Twitter, man. Let's know what's going on, man. As he's put a lot of former players on blast, aka the tight end Jason Witten, and to a certain extent, Tony Romo. So, but he's trying to revive his career, trying to get the career going, and trying to get it up and running once again, and this will be a good situation for him now. He's going to have to understand that the Baltimore Ravens are not a pass-happy offense by any stretch of the imagination. They are a run-oriented offense. You know, they're going to run Lamar Jackson. They're going to use his legs, and they're going to get a ball to those running backs that they got. You know, they've got the former running back out of the New Orleans Saints. He had a great year last year running for him before he got injured. I think he injured his calf muscle right there before the end of the season, and I think he came back in the playoffs not 100%. That's Mark Ingram I'm talking about. They've got him. They brought in the versatile running back out of Ohio State, who's one of the best running backs in the country. They drafted him early in the draft. They've got him. So they are a run-oriented team. So if Dez Bryant is happy with getting 3 or 4 catches per game for 35 to 45 yards, then I think it'll be a good fit. But if he come in thinking he's going to put up the numbers he put up when he was with the Cowboys, which was 2012 through 2014, that's when he had his career years there. You know, Dez Bryant basically had a 3-year career where he was on an elite level. 2012, 2013, 2014, where he averaged around 90 catches per game and around 1,300 yards per game and around 15 touchdowns per season. I'm saying per game, my bad. He averaged 90-plus yards a season during that 3-year stretch. 90 receptions during that 3-year stretch. Averaged 1,300 yards receiving yards during that stretch. And averaged around 15 touchdowns a season during that stretch. And after that, he kind of fell off a cliff, man. Couldn't get he was a guy that never was a great route runner. He didn't have he was never a precise route runner. He was kind of guy that he relied on, 50-50 balls. And when, Romo would throw it up there to him, he would out-athletic his defender and get to the ball and make catches, man. He was kind of, to me, like I wouldn't say, he was kind of almost like a poor man's Randy Moss. And I say that in a good way. A poor man's Randy Moss. Randy Moss was a guy that was just sick athletic, But the difference between him and Dez Bryant was Randy Moss had track speed. He could actually blow by defenders too and get deep. But when the defenders were around and near him, they could stay with Randy Moss, you could throw the ball up there, and Randy Moss would go up there and make the catch. And that's what Dez Bryant was able to do, especially during those 3 years, 2012 through 2015. Now, we're going to be interested to see what happens, see what transpires. Now, the Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator, Greg Roman, he was the offense coordinator under John Harbaugh's brother, Jim Harbaugh, in San Francisco. And he did a good job with Crabtree. Crabtree was another guy that I think is in the same boat as Dez Bryant's in right now. A guy that did not have tremendous speed, but was a guy that was a very physical player. A guy that was probably a little bit better route runner than Dez Bryant was, but a guy that didn't have the separation, but was able to be productive in the Greg Roman offense. And that's what I think Dez Bryant can be in Baltimore if he signs with the Ravens. He could be that Crabtree style of receiver where he's not going to have the separation no more, but he's with a very exotic, a very top offensive coordinator, offensive designer, a guy that knows how to get receivers open. As you can see in Baltimore Ravens, their receivers were wide open in a lot of cases with not a defender within shouting distance of them. They was able to score a lot of touchdowns. A lot of people attribute that to Lamar Jackson. The team was so worried about his running ability that they left wide open spaces for the wide receivers out there on the field. But I think it had something to do with that and the design of Greg Roman offense, and I think that would help out Dez Bryant also. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires. But that's the news here. Dez Bryant to work out for the Baltimore Ravens in an attempt to revive his NFL career. Again, he hasn't caught a pass since December 31st, 2017, almost 3 years ago. But we'll see if this guy can revive his career and get on a Super Bowl contender in the Baltimore Ravens. We'll see what happens, but you heard it here first. Dez Bryant to work out for the Baltimore Ravens, who along with the Kansas City Chiefs are the favorites to come out of the AFC. The team to beat in the AFC North, as teams like Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Cincinnati will be looking to challenge Baltimore Ravens for AFC North supremacy. We'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires. Now, leave your comments in the comment section. What you think about Dez Bryant possibly signing with the Baltimore Ravens? You think that'll be a good move? Now, when you look at that wide receivers position, they've got one standout receiver, and that's Hollywood Brown there. He's a guy that brings a different skill set than Dez Bryant will bring. He's a guy that's a deep threat, a guy that they want to get down the field, a guy that you can run some reverses to, get him in space, and let him use his speed and athleticism to burn the defense. Dez Bryant is going to be more of an intermediate receiver, a guy that you probably can use in the red zone when you throw those fade passes and throw those jump ball type of plays at the corner of the end zone. He can be a guy that can make plays in that regard. So I think he'll be a good complement to Hollywood Brown. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires. But that's the position for the Baltimore Ravens, where they don't have a lot of depth. They don't have a lot of to meet competition. People that will be forcing Dez Bryant, if he possibly signs with the Ravens, to pretty much be relegated to the sideline and backup duty. He would be able, I think, to get into that top three rotation of wide receiver along with Hollywood Brown. They got a couple other guys that played well last year, but he should be able to get some playing time for the Baltimore Ravens, in my opinion, and be able to see the field. But the problem is not just getting on the field, but how many passes he get thrown his direction in a ball-oriented, a run-oriented offense in Baltimore. But if he's all about trying to get that ring and win, he should be happy with whatever catches he get, as long as the results are winning and contending for a Super Bowl. So let me know what you think in the comment section about Dez Bryant possibly signing with the Baltimore Ravens and working under a players coach and John Harbaugh, who's known to bring in veteran receivers, veteran players all together, long to bring them guys in. He brought in Steve Smith when he was disgruntled and left Carolina Panthers, and you saw he had a very strong and productive 2 years there with the Baltimore Ravens. Maybe you bring him. Maybe they're looking to have the same success with Dez Bryant, bringing him in. Out of retirement, basically semi-retirement, as he's basically ain't played in the last 3 years. A veteran players coach like John Harbaugh has shown in the past, he's able to bring in veteran players and get the best out of them in their second half of their career, their waning years of their NFL career. He's able to get the best out of them and maximize what they can bring to the table. So let me know what you can think in the comment section about wide receiver Dez Bryant possibly signing with the Baltimore Ravens. Let me know what you think in the comment section. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I holla.